versus Status Who. Starting off here on Empyrean CTF with I'm Hot Soup. No cold soup here.
A lot of the food gamer tags have been popular super recently. Right off the rip, you see a team grab both Rockets and OS, it looks like, with First Minion getting a flag run through Needles, trying to be able to use these Rockets. Will they go down? No, they don't go down. He's able to get through Long Haul, but then is taken down halfway through Long Haul. Really an intense start from the rip by both teams.
Very nice rocket there from QX as well. Pretty much a textbook stop. Of course, now he's kind of stuck on the enemy team's second VR. He's got a snipe in hand, but no DMR, and that ends up getting him killed, dropping the snipe for Status Who.
Definitely. Right off the rip, you see just both teams just make aggressive pushes into each other's bases, trying to use those power weapons in order to secure that first flag cap. But just both teams just at a stalemate here, not able to get the clean wipe. 2 down on the side of Status 2 and 1 down on the side of First Minion right here. Nothing yet. This is going to be a slow start, but hopefully we got things picking up. And as I say that, we got a flag running. We got a flag run by QX into Long Haul, but is taken out by the enemy team's Plasmas.
They're trying to get that sort of perfect G-slide flag run so that they can quickly throw it into Long Haul, but right there, I don't think it was the best play to run that flag. If Rhodey had stayed alive in the enemy base, maybe, but otherwise, I would have said run it into the enemy mauler, or shotgun, whatever you like to call it. Run it in there where there's more cover, get a few slay cycles in, and then run it.
Just right off the rip, 10 minutes left, and you see 2 down go on, 2 down on the side of Status 2. With First Minion just in the last couple of minutes being able to just hold Status 2 in their back base, and you see I'm Hot Soup, you know, trying to summon his inner Campbell's soup and just get panned right there, unfortunately.
Moving that flag though like he's a can of Progresso. He's progressing it.
Oh, that is a better one. That is a better one. But right here, it looks like just the Status 2 flag is by Plasmas and First Minion, just trying to control this top mid while those rockets are coming up. Nothing yet. Those power weapon items have been picked up and have been used, but it looks like Flick is able to get a flag run into Long Haul. But again, taken out at that exact same spot, just at the entrance of Long Haul. Both teams just putting a lot of importance in Long Haul and making the enemy team spawn on the back tower.
And it's a little funny to see that just playing this originally in Halo 3. It was always a lot more focus on green, but they've got the enemy flag onto their side for Minion, but Status Who managed to get hold of the OS. This is going to be a dead flag, and First Minion now has control over Status Who's side. It's in their hands now to get him on a spawn cycle and get the flag moving.
Yeah, both teams just, well, they're even in the slay department. Just about, not quite. You see First Minion having 5-6 slays and Status 2 having about 5 to 8 deaths, excuse me. Both teams just playing really smart Halo conservative, just making sure to get poke, making sure to get damage, and really everybody on this leaderboard is getting, on the scoreboard is getting assists and slays, which is very notable, and teamwork happening from both sides.
Yeah, and especially with a mixed league like this, where the teams are randomized from the start. As of week 7, each team's kind of played with each other quite a bit, but essentially this is just if they ran into this team in the arena playlist. So they're going to be playing probably a little bit more cautiously than you might expect a similar level, say, pre-made team to play. They're going to be playing a little more cautiously and trying to feel each other out before they really start going for any kind of really aggressive push.
Yes, just a calm game of Empyrean Slayer here. Nothing. We haven't seen too many fireworks. Just, I hate to say it, but just a calm, just peaceful game of Empyrean. If peaceful is the word I can use to describe Halo. There's exchanges and trades happening. Status 2 goes forward down with First Minion pushing up and getting top mid control. OS is up. I'm hot too, trying to grab it one more time, but is taken out. And First Minion is able to secure that. First Minion is able to secure the OS and rockets. Will they be able to get a flag cap with both power items in their hands?
Kind of depends on Swex here, but I don't believe he's going to be able to stop it. Yeah, First Minion knows where he's at, and that's a flag for Status Who. Sorry, not for Status Who, First Minion. And my team screwed up here.
It's definitely interesting noticing that we've gone through almost half of this Empyrean game, and the first score and the first cap has come by the hands of that OS and rockets. Definitely experienced Halo players can definitely realize why that OS gives you extra health, and those rockets just makes it easier to take out another enemy. But will they be able to have momentum swing on their side, or will they be taken out and will this be a dead flag?
Yeah, this I'm feeling like is definitely dead, but First Minion, they don't have to worry about if this is dead or not. They can play a little bit of defense and just get control back up the map. The old yarn with professional level players was always that you would want to get your map control first, then your weapon control, and then that nets you objective control. And First Minion's been following that formula pretty heavily. They've gotten map control, they've gotten the weapon control because of that, and then they were able to cap the first flag of the game pretty easily because of that.
In those lower level lobbies, you sometimes see that sniper on the bottom tower just not getting picked up as much, but definitely notice in these higher tier lobbies that using the full sandbox to their capabilities. One teammate is using that sniper on terminal side, while the others are trying to push through long haul or mid and just doing that damage and taking advantage of it. Right now, you see First Minion go 2 down with Status Who finally able to get top mid control and pushing up to see if they can put pressure on First Minion and get this game tied up. But QX just doing a good job, just playing defensive, playing calm, playing in cover, I must say, and just waiting for those OS, for that OS and rockets, which are up again in about 3 seconds.
I like this play from him to keep the guy in sword guessing about his true intentions, end up going for the overshield and baiting that. Now he's got OS in hand. He should get this sniper in a couple seconds. Oh dear, don't scare me like that, QX.
You did give me a little bit of a heart attack, but he was able to bring it out of the fire right there and still get the slay. I know if that was me, I would have choked, but you know, that's a question for my friends to answer right now. The flag run has been returned, and that is who find themselves just in a little bit of a back foot situation, just trying to recover from getting slain out in First Minion's base, and just trying to keep this game even. Just at times, I worry that both teams may make mistakes that may lead the other one to score a flag, but really, just both teams just staying calm and just playing consistent, if that makes sense. Just not making too many mistakes, not leaving any openings with power weapons or any openings in the map for the other team to exploit.
And that is especially the name of the game for First Minion. They don't want to be making any mistakes that would let Status Who tie things up. I mean, if they keep things at the status quo, no pun intended. Sorry if that's trademarked or if anybody's upset at HCS. Or if Flamesword somehow is watching, but First Minion's okay with things staying status quo. They're okay with playing defense. They don't have to force a fly cap like Status Who does in order to keep this game going.
And personally, I'm just a humble Plat 6, you know, Diamond 1. And it's really interesting to see how there's a difference in thinking between a lot of Platinum players thinking, should we push up or should we stay back and defend? And right now I'm just learning a lot, seeing how First Minion decides to handle the situation. They cleanly get slays on from back tower and just acknowledge that if they don't push up right now, they may be in an unfortunate situation. But it just takes a high IQ push, because if you don't push up when you have those slays, they can quickly turn disastrous, and Status Who may be able to get a cap, but it doesn't look like it, because First Minion is just doing a good job playing controlled and playing It's a smart game of Halo.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of matchmaking. You'll have people say, "Hey, no, you've got to be constantly pushing that objective. You have to be constantly pushing to the enemy space to pull the flag. You got to constantly have somebody in the hill holding the ball, capturing a stronghold." But there is such a thing as essentially overcommitting. I sniped there, but overcommitting to an objective to the detriment of your team. To use oddball as an example, just yeah, you might get 5-10 seconds of scrap time, but you may end up, because you went way out of your way to get that scrap time, costing a good setup for your team, and then the other team gets 30 or 40 seconds to your 10 seconds of scrap time. It's like, great job there. Yeah, now we're actually in a worse position than we were before.
While you were saying that, we saw QX just doing a good job with the crazy head stick, and then just pushing through long haul, eventually getting taken out. Just doing a good job of just honestly keeping Status Who busy and just ensuring that he drains time through the ability of not having Status Who push into their 75 or in their base, so that just with 40 seconds left, all that First Minion needs to do is just make sure that they take care of the flag, take care of their lives, and stay up here, because it should be 1-0. But Status Who is a very well experienced team, and you see that through that stick that they mean business, and they're here to make this game 1-1 if this flag goes through long haul.
Up the hot soup here. Well, this I don't really quite like. He's only got so much time here. Status Who's number of mistakes they can make is pretty much
They're running
0.
the flag. They're running the flag, though.
They are indeed, but not any longer.
Score is 1-0 into the favor of First Minion for this series.
As your remaining players are at camo, so you get that essentially free.
Yeah, definitely. The game has started with First Minion spawning at C plat, with Status Who just doing a good job of just flowing through top mid, pushing through dummies, and just getting the first couple slays while First Minion goes one down.
Yep, and you can't ask for anything better. Get the first few kills, you don't give up too many deaths, and Team Slayer, that's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah, both teams just waiting for this OS. Status Who trying to make the push. But we see Judge just continue this push with getting 2 epic snipes onto Turbine right there. One more enemy from First Minion is on cuts now, trying to take out Judge, and is able to. Unfortunately, those plays don't come in clutch enough. We see Camo and Green Gun working their way through tower. A lot of sandbox use happening right now in this Slayer live fire. It's very interesting. Score is 5-5 right now.
And Brody is alone with the camo, but it's really early in the game. He does not have to do too much other than just stay alive and not get averaged. Unfortunately, he goes down, but the damage he put out allowed his team to take a 2-kill lead.
And the biggest thing that I'm noticing here from specifically my Platinum Low Diamond lobbies is just the pace of the game. For me, I really do W key a lot. I really do hold that forward, and it is advantageous sometimes, but when you're playing in a high level lobby where every single player here has earned their rank through a lot of grind sessions and blood, honestly, it's clear that these players don't waste a life and play controlled Halo together and without ego. Honestly, the score is 9-10. Both teams just even here. I would not be surprised, even though we're at a game 2, if this series lasts all 5 games. Just sit back and watch.
My favorite phrases coming from Ryan Noob is the phrase, "Don't get averaged," which is to say, don't die in a silly way, don't give up your life easily. There are times essentially where you will not be able to avoid it, where you will die no matter what it is that you do. But put it another way, if you die fighting 3 of the other team, but you live for a good couple 3 minutes, your team gets map control and weapon control because of it, that is far better than just rushing out, getting a trade, dying instantly, and not distracting that enemy team for that long period of time.
Definitely dying with purpose right here. Really just commentating more on the game. I'm really surprised to see just First Minion just being able to just stay consistent here. Really impressive. Especially from Roddy right here at 7 and 2, just doing it all for his team right now. We're on the POV of Judge on scoreboard, looking A flat, just trying to be that manslayer for the team right now. 6 and 3, 6 and 4, if I may say. Unfortunately, he's not able to find that melee, but is able to find the assist with the help of a teammate.
Yeah, and he was doing that don't get average quite well. He was on his own, but doing the very best he could to move around as much as possible, be as much of a pain as possible for First Minion. When you're in that kind of situation, that's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, scores 20-22 right here. There's only a 2-kill difference here, and both teams just doing a great job, if I may say. Really just it's clear to see that both teams are just taking care of their lives, and I know I keep repeating that, but it's just experience shines right here. And I'm Hot Soup looking from A plat to Rat Tunnel is unfortunately not able to get the double kill. Almost though, gets one slay and then gets the other teammate Abso. Just some close games. Score is now 26-22. First Minion able to extend that lead by 2 more kills here. And status 2, while they're doing a great job, a good job, a solid job of just staying as a team and getting those slays. It's just not enough here. Score, that lead is advancing into the favor of First Minion, and maybe my prediction's wrong, maybe, but I hope it's not. I'd love to sit here for 5 games between both these teams. The First Minion is just has that little bit of secret sauce, just has that little bit of just extra willpower, just to be able to get those just that little bit. We saw it with last game. They got that 1 cap, and here they're up by 5, which on a slate is not that much. This tide can switch. Roddy getting that active camo again on Turbine, and again, like you said, just playing their life and staying alive to help contribute to the battle and next engagement.
Yeah, and especially as we're getting into what is essentially the halfway point of Halo Slayer, which is that 30 kill mark. I know the math doesn't quite math, but this is where it really starts to become so impactful when you die for your team. It gets closer and closer and closer. Where early on in the game, you know, it's 5-5 or whatever. Sure. You know, you can give up an easy kill. It's not a problem. Here, as we're going into this 9-point lead now for First Minion, down to 8, I should say. Each one of these deaths becomes that much more impactful. Every team wipe gets more and more important.
Yeah, definitely want to notice that while First Minion just got wiped, and this lead is now only 4 kills. My, oh my, this momentum keeps changing. I thought we were going to see First Minion honestly run away with it, but no, Zetisu has just brought it back to only a 4-kill difference. Wow. Roddy on First Minion doing a great job of slaying out and playing their life. While they're not having the most assists, they're just getting those final slays. 13 and 5 right now for their team right now. QX doing a good job taking that snipe and is down here on sandbags, but again, the score keeps the momentum just keeps shifting here. A little hard to keep up because just both teams just keep fighting, keep pushing. The moment I thought Zetisu was out, they just brought it back with a roaring passion.
That's kind of the flip side of the coin for Slayer. Yeah, you can get snowballed and you can end up being down 10, 15 kills, and that's obviously a bad thing. But you can just easily be in that position yourself. As we see here with Status Who, they're only down 3 now. They have Snipe in the hand of Squeaks. Down 2. Down 1. This is honestly in Squeaks' hand as he brings it up to a tie game now.
Yeah, Squeaks is able to squeak that lead with having KD of 14 and 10 right now with 7 assists. Even though that KD isn't ultra impressive with those 7 assists, that impressive. Another headshot and a body shot with some damage coming on cuts. Wow, that was almost a triple kill right there.
Not just that, he kept the camo player alive, yet domed, was able to get away with camo right there. And I wonder what he is doing. Oh, I'm sorry. He has just gotten domed, unfortunately. But the fact that First Minion did not get that camo is massive for Status Who. And now, First Minion is trapped at the back of B. Not really a really great place to be this late in a Slayer. Especially as we're getting scared again by some missed shots, but 49-46 in favor of Status Who. They just need one good push.
I think I switched my mind about 3 times about if we're going to go to a game 3 or game 5. I don't know. This is going to be an ultra competitive series here. One more slay needed from Status Who. First Minion has completely just slowed down, just recognizing that they cannot waste a life right here. Status Who just peeking at Big Door, deciding to go back to B, just setting up around the map, realizing that they have 3 minutes left. They can literally just sit here. They can literally just watch time go by, and it's okay for Status Who because First Minion needs 4 and Status Who needs 1. But right now, just with that lead, if these 3 minutes are done and we don't have another slay, I know that's a crazy prediction right there, but it would lead to a Status Who a point for this series.
Yeah, that's kind of a nice mental exercise for this because yes, Status Who could technically just throw their bodies all at First Minion, and they may just be able to get away with that. But as we say that, they have a fight on the outside, and it goes in the favor of...
Yes, definitely. Game 3 coming at us here on Halo Rec League. It's Wednesdays, it's Mixed League. Let's get back to it. Amazing game 3 should be coming at us here with both teams just doing a good job of holding on to that competitive rope and just staying in it, staying competitive. With First Minion should be able to capture B here and getting the first points on the board in this Stronghold's interference.
What I'm looking to see here from First Minion is, can they get that overshield? Can they get a decent lead going on here?
They were almost able to play that OS, but just not unfortunately able to. It's like First Minion is going to be able to get a triple cap and that OS in their favor, which is going to be massive. First Status Who might be able to break out of this if they play smart, which they have. They find BC control here and start scoring with only First Minion able to get 12 points. Status Who have the heat wave, the OS drained, and everything else off the map. So honestly, Status Who might be able to score here, but again, just that tight contention. Both teams having a hard time of breaking away from the other. Super impressive and competitive Halo is happening right in front of our eyes.
What I really liked there with Squeeze getting C and getting the first few points on the board for Status Who was just the fact that he stayed alive. He didn't feel the need to, for lack of a better term, ego challenge the OS guy that was shooting him. He put a few shots in and tucked himself into a corner, let his teammate clean him up. Just goes to show the level of trust that you have in your teammates here at the Challenger level.
First Minion able to have the triple cap almost in full effect. They're only scoring 1 point right now. They were scoring 2 for a second. Right now, they're back to only scoring 1 point right now. I am Hot Snoop is trying to stay alive right now, dancing, doing the tango, just making that OS just work for that slay. And if I'm Hot Soup, I'm happy with that. I know I'm frustrated that I didn't get the slay, but that OS is drained. That hill is in favor of the other team. But that is some impressive slays that without the OS, I feel like that slay would have been there. But First Minion doing a great job of just holding on to this lead. And even though both teams are ultra competitive right now, again, First Minion just showing that just a little bit just X factor right here. But they need to show it throughout the match in order to win this game. They need to show it throughout the series. It's not just about the X factor you show in the 30-40 seconds. It's not just about those impressive clips. It's about just pushing as a team and being effective throughout the entire series and entire map.
Completely agreed. And right now, Status Who is kind of in the weeds. They're in the midst of a trip cap right now. And I kind of feel like they have lost some of that team cohesion that they had from the last game. You keep seeing them die singly or in pairs, separated from each other.
I would be disappointed to hear if that Status Who did not practice on this map. I know that there are mixed leagues, but to not even just do a quick just FFA warm up on interference, knowing that it's the first week that it's an HRL action, I think it's a bit of a shame. So I really, really do hope Status Who was able to get on this map and warm up, because if you tell me that First Minion just this is the first time playing, this is their first time playing on this map, and Status Who has been grinding interference, I would be very shocked. Again, I think it's experience that shines bright here, with the score being 160-9. It looks like the score and momentum will be going to First Minion, but anything can happen. Don't count Status 2 out of the woods just yet. They're trying to drain this OS and just get back into control of this map.
That they are, and it is still perfectly winnable, but they are well past the point where they need to really be worrying. They need to coordinate a good push, and they need to coordinate that fast. Looks like they are going to convert B, which is good. This is going to stop the bleeding, but what they really need right now is essentially to do what First Minion has been doing to them, which is to get them on a spawn cycle, get them on a trip cap, and just build up a nice, solid lead that they have been lacking for a hot minute here.
This map reminds me of Solitude almost, because I feel like when I play this personally, I know I'm a little bit of a lower lobby, I'm still running through every single point. Not necessarily because I don't want to hold 2 points, I don't want to hold an A and B. I think it's better to just always be in contention of every single point on this map. With Satasu just taking just the alternate route about that, trying to hold on to this A and B, staying to their power positions, and trying to hold First Minion from swarming in like a pack of just busy bees, and just continue on with the pressure right here. I'm Hot Soup, just not able to find that headshot onto Para Med Papi. Oh, Papi. Okay, that is okay. But again, just impressive play coming out of First Minion right here, while Status 2, unfortunately, are just not getting those slays. It's really hard to win any map in HRL when you have teammates going 4 and 12 and 5 and 13. It happens to the best of us. It happened to me in my last match last weekend. It happens. That's what we're here to learn and to compete. But you have to step up in these type of situations, and First Minion has. It is clear and it is impressive.
That it is. And while I liked what Status Who was doing with the rotations, they ended up throwing just a few too many bodies at A, and unfortunately that has cost them here. And unless they make some really big plays real quick, this is going to be another point on the board for First Minion, as the trip cap just doubles the score away.
This First Minion just needs 10 more points here, and unfortunately, while Satasu is going to make a last stand here, I do think, like I said, unfortunately, First Minion will take the victory here, and it's just a matter of time before we see Game 4, in which I do worry about the momentum in the side of Satasu, but maybe on a map like Oddball Streets, they'll be able to bring it back because they know those callouts better and they know what's happening. But right here, you see Satasu just not able to hold on to the point being scored onto long enough. But right here, we should be going to Game 4. Oddball Slayer coming up next here on Halo Record. Oddball squad with confidence and energy. That's what I would like to see out of Satasu. But First Minion, again, just really impressive play here, and just with First Minion going down to 3 down at the start, you may see Satasu just do exactly what I say, but hopefully, I'm not calling myself a wizard just yet.
Yeah, I'll say myself, that's always the best ego boost you could possibly ask for. If you've had a rough game the game before, and then you pop off the next one, that always gives you something to chirp at the other team about. And speaking of chirping, if this was a LAN game, there would be some chirping going on right now. First Minion is... I feel like we're watching interference except in reverse here. First Minion has 3 goose eggs incubating currently. That is just something else here. They have not yet touched the ball. They have barely made any kills. That is who has control the ball, control the map, and control camo. Things are all going their way. Hatsu Just needs to stay alive here, pick up a couple quick kills. I really like this. How well, I wish he had hit those sticks, but I'm sure he wishes he hit those too.
Still able to find that double kill though.
Absolutely, and gotta love the big sauce, as you might say with anybody who's played Halo 1. Give him the sauce. I mean,
I was born the month after Halo 1 was released, so you know that one's for all you OGs out there. But yeah, definitely just super impressive. I feel like Status 2 just in between games told themselves, hey, we just got beat, we just got mollywopped. Let's bring it back, okay? We can do this. Take your breath, drink your water, and let's start calming out and pushing as a team. Really love to see this from Status 2. I'm a big fan of I'm Hot Soup right now. He's 8-2 right now. Doing it all, quarterbacking for the team, just making sure everybody's still mentally locked in. First Minion maybe took a little bit too much time celebrating. Right now, they have the ball at shotgun. Right now, they found 20 seconds, but it's just not enough compared to Status 2's 64 seconds, where Status 2 can just sit back here, not really worry about the ball, bait the ball a little bit, and just focus on those slays. Just about to be 70 seconds. 70 seconds compared to 20 seconds, that's a lot of time in an oddball.
Yep, and they're rotating the ball just perfectly, absolutely perfectly. First Minion spawn ED, but they're rotating the ball to C, so now First Minion's got to come all the way over just to even get a chance to fight them. We're coming up here on the 90-point mark as well.
I did want to say that even though both teams have been super competitive and we've seen a really great series so far, this has been a quick series. It feels like every single map we've watched has just gone by like that, like just super quickly. It's because both teams are really effective, and we see the first round of Oddball going in the hands of Status 2. Let's see if First Minion can bring this back and push us to 3 rounds into Oddball. But if not, we're going to Game 5 right after this round. Let's see. The amount of momentum changing that's happening in this series is nutty. It is crazy. Love to see it. Just I'm locked in here. I'm locked in.
Enemy has the ball. Ball drop.
This was a LAN game. If this was me playing for one of these teams, if I was playing for Status Who, I'm hyping up the team. I want my team hyped up and wanting to get aggressive, get sharpened, get in the other team's face. Don't let off the gas. The last thing you want to do is let off the gas and let them catch any kind of breath. First Minion needs to do essentially the exact opposite. Play a little bit of heavy defense. Stop the Status Who momentum. They've got time, and realistically, they could lose this game and still win the series. So, take the pressure off of yourself, reset the vibes, reset the mental, get control back.
And like you mentioned, even in that game 1 Imperium, you mentioned about just being careful about that OBJ play. Right now, I feel like we're seeing being a little just wanting that ball a little too much right now. Yes, they're getting the time, but it just feels like whenever Status 2 holds onto that ball, and they actually are able to set up and just get 20 seconds, 30 seconds from their holds, while First Minion is just getting 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and it's adding up. I do think First Minion is doing a good job opening this round, taking things calm, doing the dirty work, and just having just the best spawns that they can right now. Even though we see Hot Soup spawn on Red Room, he will control B rail. You will see that ball going into C for First Minion, and you should be able to see First Minion get 10 seconds, if not 15, if not 20, maybe even 30 seconds here, with them finding their momentum and locking back in here.
Unfortunately, Camo's going down. That's a bad thing to lose if you are Status Who. They do have the advantage still, but Status Who, yeah, they have the momentum going their way. Yeah, they're stepping on the gas, but they actually have less leeway to make mistakes. They have less leeway to essentially screw up as they're going 3 down here. Yeah, they won the first round, and very convincingly so. But at the same time here, they've not touched the oddball this round.
It definitely feels like
we're hitting the 50-point mark, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe they are feeling just a touch desperate. they've tasted blood, but now they're getting pushed back, and they're thinking, "Oh, we just need to push a little bit harder." When no, you need to be pushing a little more smarter.
I hate to say it, but maybe Setasu is just running out of that gas a little bit. Maybe First Minion is just has that extra 5% of that Halo endurance. It really isn't much separating these teams in skill. I know whenever these teams go at each other, it feels like we see one blowout and then another blowout, and now we're seeing another blowout. But like I said, this should be leading us to a game 5. If not, First Minion is able to take the win here. Just super competitive Halo. Just both rounds just being a clear display of why these teams signed up for Halo Rec League and decided to start competing, because these are very talented Halo players that it is hard thing to do. What Status Soup did in the first round, and now First Minion is just trying to replicate that energy. This round 3, I do believe this oddball will go to a round, because Status Soup just has just a massive mountain to climb, and if they're able to climb this mountain, status who. But if I'm First Minion, just remember, look at that lead, stay calm. Remember what the score is in the series, and this round of oddball is crucial round to again dictate the momentum. It just feels like every single time I predict something in this series, the other team just proves me wrong, showing why Halo is just so much fun to compete with.
Totally agree there. And Status Who, I feel like, has caught their stride. They're not too far behind First Minion now. And now First Minion, it's their turn to worry. They can't afford to lose this round.
And while this member just went down, Get Domed has been doing a good job of just going 10 and 12. I noticed that slaying performance last game, and X-Judge and Get Domed have been doing a good job of locking back in with both 8 and 6 assists. I know that they may not be the best slayer on the team, but they're definitely using that microphone they have on their headset and calling when someone's weak, or when they need that little bit of extra support. But Status Food is doing a good job of just locking back in and playing as a team right now. It's really impressive. You see one member of First Minion try to push into ATMs, but just is not able, because just from shotgun is taken down, and fights and trades just galore happening right in front of our eyes. Just some amazing Halo. Just honestly, I'm just astounded and impressed by every single player in this lobby with their mental fortitude and their technical ability.
Piggyback a little bit on what you were saying as well about sort of, yeah, the slays are not quite as impressive as maybe some of the others. You know, you might look at I'm Hatsu or Status Who, or you might look at First Minion as a whole, maybe Rhodey, especially with his 15 assists. At the same time, it can be valuable locking an enemy player in one place, keeping them from pushing your team, even if you don't get the kill, or hell, even the assist. The joke that I have in my friend group is, you know, it's plays that don't show up on the stat sheet. Yeah, it might not show up on the stat sheet, but you can still have an impact for your team. You can still do great things for your team, even if you're not getting the kill, the assist, the final flag cap, final few seconds of oddball. Those plays do matter. But speaking of those plays, it looks like we're about to go into a round 3 unless we have a good push out of Status Who here. It is possible, but they have the deck stacked against them a little bit.
Yeah, you see that carrier stopped right here. Dome is just trying to get some extra time. I hope that they recognize that they have a really good setup in PD and back A. And if they take advantage of this, if they get 1 slay, 2 slays, this should be round and a game 5. It is a last stand opportunity here. We see Shweeks get that slay. We see a trade happening into the favor of First Minion. It is 3 down in First Minion. This might be match right here. A stunning comeback from Status Who, especially after what we saw last map, with them getting blown out on interference, to bring it back and win this oddball 2-0. Game 5.
First Minion fans in the chat, though, as they come out to a 2-1 early lead. 3-1 now, actually.
It's really impressive, because I feel like the story of this series has been just First Minion just being that older brother, in a sense, just being a little bit of that bully. But you see Status Who saying, "Hey, older brother, calm down. You gotta remember that little brother too. Hey, yo, we got some fire, we got some pizzazz here." If you see QX having that shock rifle, trying to make something work. QX doing a good job of starting this map 3-0-0. While they don't have assists, they're just doing a good job of slaying out and just not needing a teammate, which in this Slayer is sometimes what you need. An amazing headshot coming at posters. QX. Just been praising his name all day, or their name all day. Really impressive Halo. Just coming out of, I know I keep saying that, but I'm an eager little boy here, just watching the gaming, like, oh my god, that's an amazing shot, that's an amazing push. Ooh, what's happening here? Because that's how you know we have a good series on our hands. 7-5 is the score. 7-6 is the score. 1 kill difference. Status U is trying to take the lead. This is the first time that they've taken the series lead, and I don't know how many matches, honestly.
It shows off just how important it is to control the whole sandbox, especially in a game 5 like this. You don't want to leave any stone unturned, so to speak. You don't want to have any advantage going the way of the other team.
And just right as I blink, First Minion gets 2 kills, 3 kills. The score was 8-7 last time I look at the kill feed, and then I just blink and it's 8-11. Just that really shows the pace in which it's just, while we have these lulls, these like 20 seconds in which there's not much happening. The moment there's that first slay, things start popping off, and action happens throughout the map. 11-12 is the score. 3 are up, 3 were down for First Minion, and it's just dropping like flies here. Both teams just even. This series is even, 2-2 with the score 12-12 on a Solitude Slayer. You can't get any closer than that, ladies and gentlemen.
Now as we're coming into this, there's a couple of different schools of thought that go into a Game 5 Slayer. You might have a team that will want to set up and will want to play things a little more conservatively, a little more cautiously. Other teams, though, they prefer essentially to run as, if you ever played Overwatch competitively, you're familiar with dive comp, where you would essentially have these highly mobile characters of various types just constantly pushing forward, diving in, not giving you a chance to breathe. And it's a bit of a high-risk, high-reward playstyle, but it can sometimes work in your favor, especially if you've been playing conservatively the whole rest of the match. It can also kind of screw with the other team's mental, because they're thinking, okay, this team's going to zig, it's 2-2, this is close, they don't want to lose. But here you are, instead, throwing caution to the wind, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. It's not something that you necessarily want to do all the time, but it can run in your favor.
And to mention just the mentals right now, I feel like Status 2 as we're down and in the weeds, they were having a really hard time. Honestly, if I'm on that team, I'm checked. And I'm really shocked and really impressed that Status 2 find themselves on the front foot here. Because First Minion have found themselves in positions throughout the oddball, throughout this Slayer specifically too, where they've been in control of the map, but they've just not been able to have that X factor. And Status 2, they already had nothing to lose during the series. They already had their backs against the wall. This is the first time First Minion has their backs truly against the wall in this series, and it looks like Status 2 is saying, hey, we know how to handle this stress just that little bit more. And I was talking about X factor, I was talking about just experience, but if you know how to go down in a series and stay mentally locked in and focused, that's everything in HRL. And right now we're seeing just a class act by Status 2, just being able to maintain this lead, staying calm and not making the same mistakes that First Minion have made, leading them to unfortunately have lost the lead in this series. Really impressive plays coming out of just the individual members of First Minion, but that collective team effort just isn't there right now in Status 2. Well, it might be there. Scores 25-25 just as I'm yapping again. I knew I was gonna jinx it, but Status 2 just able to get the first slay right there. Scores 26-26. We are halfway through the Slayer match and things are still even. This is crazy.
Brody spawning in blue right here. He's on his own, kind of away from the rest of his team. I'm interested to see what he can do here. Looks like he was able to pick up a kill, get his team spawned over at Snipe, which is really a great thing for First Minion here. they're able to pick up a couple of kills, but Status Who is able to convert a few as well. They're now in the lead, 30-28.
I really just want to mention that performance from Judge, who I've been kind of just keeping an eye on the last 3 games because of, like, again, I'll mention that interference. Had a tough performance on the interference. To find themselves and to find and to see that Judge is 9-10. Fortunately, they were 9-9, but unfortunately weren't able to get that last slay onto yard. Score is 32-31. If I'm Judge, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. You know, if I'm domed, I'm looking at my score and saying, hey, I have 6 kills and 6 assists and then 10 bets. That's still strong contribution. This shock rifle is up. This camo is up. You see Sadisu getting another slay onto First Minion, keeping that 1 kill lead, and then immediately losing it, but then getting back into control of it. Right now the score is 34-34.
And burning the camo there. I'm loving how Status Who was able to not only not just blindly rush the camo, but also, even though they weren't able to get it for themselves, at the very least deny it for First Minion. A camo for First Minion is really terrible for Status Who at this point in the game. And look at this. Look at Judge laying. He's saying he is the law, and his law is stay alive.
5 minutes remaining.
I'm a big fan of that. I'm still that low diamond player, you know, but I enter some Halo discords that are like just, you know, Onyx based, and I have a hard time. But whenever I go triple negative and then I bring it back next map, trust me, I'm yapping to the Onyxes saying, oh, you let Queso come back? That's some confidence right there. Really, really, really good. Just smart, calm plays coming out of Status who have just lost the lead. Scores 39-38 into the favor of First Minion. 39-40, 10 kills left for First Minion. Just as I'm giving Status who praise, First Minion prove to me again why I should not count them out. Why I've been complimenting them all day, saying that they just have some X factor right here. This is even serious. I would love to see these teams go out into playoffs, because to have that playoff mentality with both these teams just going at it, oof, I can only just imagine the possibilities and the plays. 41-43 into the favor of First Minion. Camo is up, and the camo just stays at top mid. 2 kill difference right now. And wow, Status Soup's doing a good job of baiting that camo one more time.
I'm tying it up here. It sounds like they got the camo as well. I'm not sure which one of them did. I wonder if Tozer might have seen. But really, both these teams, it again comes down to don't get average. Neither team can give up any kind of death right here.
5 kills left.
Each one of these matters just an immense amount. All the damage that you can do is important.
They're just trading. They're just trading right now. We're gonna see the play slow down after that trade battle right now. Status who's somehow able to come out of that exchange with a 1 kill lead right now. X-Judge trying to make something happen. They need 1 more kill left. They're able to find something off camera here, and
we got the shock rifle for Status Who as well. It's their game to lose at this point. First Minion's trapped in yard, and Judge lays it down.
Judge,
bang the gavel.
an impressive